Welcome to Bible at the Bay. Here we are in Honesdale, Pennsylvania with our special guest, Rabbi Dr. Jeffrey Kobrin, head of school at North Shore Hebrew Academy in Great Neck, New York. It's great to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Welcome to chapter 2 in the Book of Kings. We ended on a very dramatic note, and chapter 2 can kind of be divided into two sections. The first is David's parting words to Solomon, some warnings of potential forces that can be destabilizing for his monarchy, and then actually Solomon taking that advice and starting acting upon that advice. But I want to focus on the beginning of the chapter, which is a curious request that's made by Adoniyahu, who we saw at the end of chapter 1, didn't make it. And he asks Bathsheba to take David's concubine, Abishag Hashunamite, who we met at the beginning of chapter 1, as his wife. And I want to reflect upon that kind of request because it actually potentially brought down his downfall and his death, that request. And what do you make of that request? And how does it kind of fit in with other requests in the Bible of sons wanting to have a sexual relationship with their father's concubine or wife?
As I understand this kind of move, and we've seen this before, we saw it back in the book of Genesis and Bereshit, when Reuven makes a move with his father Yaakov, Jacob's wives, Bilhah, I think it was. This is not about attraction, because I can imagine Adoniyahu, who was a prince of Israel, could pretty much have any woman he wanted.
And we know he was very good looking.
He was a hottie. So I think this is completely a political move, and Shlomo sees right through it immediately, to the point where he says, okay, this guy cannot continue living in the same kingdom as me, and he puts him to death. Because when, especially I think at that time, you signify leadership and kingship by marrying, or at least bedding, the wife of the former king. So this is it's what's interesting to me, and I don't know a good answer for it, is why he goes through Bathsheba and not directly to Shlomo, which must mean, I think, he knows.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing, and he knows he's going to get, he's worried that he's going to get caught.
And the fact that it makes sense that it's in the chapter where we have kind of, David's warning to Solomon of what the potentially destabilizing forces are. Well, here, go back to the first verses, we have the internal destabilizing forces, as we'll see later on, are what ultimately causes the crack in this monarchy.
Right. This sets up a bunch of moves that Shlomo's going to make to lock in his power, which involves some very harsh decisions.
Great. We'll see.
We'll see.
Thanks.